That being that, hope you all had a good Happy New Year. Get Loki out of the way here. Welcome to the channel, guys. So I've got some projects that I've been working on that I've near completion or possibly completed. One of them is this Loki that I talked about before that I wanted to display versus the new Mark 6 diecast that came out. And so this is going to be who that will be. Now, of course, you know, in the movie, the Loki didn't actually. What's going on, Noble? Loki didn't actually confront Iron Man in this guise. He was actually in his normal, most familiar outfit, but it was just after he was wearing this, and I just thought this was a cool outfit when he went to Berlin. I think it was Berlin, and got the artifact that he needed. So this is going to be my counter to my Mark 6 diecast. And the other one that I did was when you buy an Ironmonger, you get the Obadiah Stane head sculpt so that you can open up the top of the Ironmonger to see Obadiah in there. So I don't display the Ironmonger open, I display it closed, but I wanted to have an Obadiah figure. So I bought the suit and got a body and just put the 2 and 2 together there. So here's my Obadiah. You need some of these extra characters, you know, to complete your story. If you're making a story, sometimes collectors just collect, you know, just a few pieces, you know, like the Mark 7 or the Mark 47 or something along that line, because it's a good representation of a series of things or what they're trying to show off. Like if you're a Spider-Man collector, you may want to get the 47 to go along with that. But Patriots Nation, how you doing, man? But when you're completists like me, you kind of need all the secondary characters, if that makes any sense. So I did that. The other thing I was wanting to do was when I bought my BB-8, the first time the BB-8 was released, the only way you could get them was with Ray. And I gotta tell you the truth, I wasn't a big fan of the current string of the continuation of the Star Wars story, 7 and 8. Really wasn't a big fan of Rey. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't Daisy's fault for the character. I just wasn't a big fan of the character. Yeah, Patriots Nation, what's going on? You got a question? Well, that depends. They start, see, 20 years ago, you could get a Hot Toys for under $100. Now you can probably get one for, I don't know, a couple $100, maybe $250 is where they'd start out at, approximately, and go up from there. The Hulkbuster, I think, is $1,150, and aftermarket can be even more. Some figures have hit collectible status of a couple of $1,000. So it really depends on the figure and what all it comes with. So I think the see, what have I got? I think the new Loki that I'm getting is $220 or something to that effect. But so they range. It depends on what they come with. Like these Iron Man figures, they're averaging between 350 or so for these guys. They come with a lot of things though, and they're die cast compared to, like Daredevil here. I think Daredevil was $220. It comes with a few things, but he's not as complicated as the Iron Man figures are. This Igor, I think he's $300 or $400. I mean, look at the size of him. So it really depends on the figure, to tell you the truth. But no, you can pick one up for about $200 or so. Robert, how's it going, man? And sometimes you can get them even less. For instance, as a matter of fact, I've been going through trying to figure out which figures I absolutely cannot live with, or I can do just fine without going on anymore. Yeah, easily. So the ones I'm going to definitely get rid of, I've started going through. The ones I'm definitely going to get rid of, and I'm telling you guys about it first. You guys can contact me if you want. I have this Ant-Man Wasp Hyundai car from the movie. I'm going to sell this. If anybody's interested, hit me up. Or otherwise, I'm just going to put it on eBay and see what happens. I have this Mattel Jessica Rabbit that I bought back in 1990, God knows what. And she's never been out of the box, but the box is seen somewhere. And it looks like she's been out of the box, but she has not. That just came undone. She's still in the box the way that she is. So what was unique about this, Mattel is a company that makes Barbie, and at the time there was really nothing like this when this came out. So I think they made a whole bunch of them, so there's a lot of them. I don't know what the collectability is on it, but I've been holding on to it forever. But like I said, the box is really in poor condition, but Jessica's brand new, still in the box. I thought I was going to do something with this Asmus Stanton and Mason mask, and I'm not. I'm not going to do anything with it. I've actually taken him out of the box, but I've never displayed him. So he's been removed from the box. He's been messed with, but he's never been displayed. So he's all there. I'm going to sell him for whatever I can get for him. Like I said, I'm just going to sell him for whatever going rates are on eBay. I'm not looking for anything stupid. This is a Hulk that I bought. I bought two third-party Hulks. They're not made by Hot Toys. That one's larger than 1/6. He's probably a 1/5. I wouldn't say a 1/4. He's probably a 1/5 size, and he works for me, for what I need for that. And this guy's probably a 1/7 size. He's a little bit smaller than 1/6 size. I'd say he's probably 1/7. He's a third-party figure. He comes with 4 hands, 2 fists, 2 open hands, and he's articulated not here at the hip, but he's articulated at the knee and the ankle and the shoulder, and of course the fist. This shoulder is a little weak. See that? You have that, but this shoulder's strong, and then of course the head pivots, but there's no neck pivot. So I'm gonna sell him, and I bought this Hot Toys. I forget what they call them. Hot Angel series. Alien Predator girl. Thought I was gonna feel for her. It never happened. Just never had any connection with her. So I'm gonna get rid of her for whatever I can. Get rid of her on. And then I bought this Game of Thrones Daenerys figure, because I had an intention of something else that I was planning on doing, and I was going to use her for that, and I've decided not to. So I'm going to get rid of her too. So I know for a fact I'm selling these. I never thought I'd ever say, yeah, I'm going to sell my toy collection, but I'm going to sell all those. Also, I've got, and I don't know if any of y'all are even interested in any of this at all. I've got a whole box of over here, the Toy Biz Spider-Man animated series from like 1994 of those figures. I'm going to list all those too. So that's my plug of junk I'm getting rid of. So let's see where we at. Selling War Machine. No, I can't live without my War Machine. Matter of fact, I just moved them up here. So now I have my War Machines up top and the Hall of Armor. Give you a show of that. And I've already got the spot anticipating the next War Machine as soon as it comes, so that he can go up there. So I've got that. By the way, I made that head there before this was even an option on that Mark 46, 47. And let's see, let's give you a room tour, I guess, while we're at it. So of course up there, that's my Iron Man 3 arrival, I guess you could say. And there's my Mark 7s. Hope you guys can see this. And there's my Mark 3s and Mark 4s. And that's the I don't know what to do with it yet shelf right there. And hella. Do I need to turn this camera around? Would that be any better? There's my Ant-Man. Got my Mark 5s here. I've got the Thesis opened up suitcase coming soon, so that will be the progression as we go through there. There's my Astromechs and my Red Skulls and my Iron Legion with the Mark 46 and my Mandarin and my Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Of course, I've got my Iron Legion here. Let me turn this camera on. I think the camera's probably better on the other side, isn't it? So here's my Iron Legion, 9, 50 Retro, 20 Python, 21 Midas Chrome. That's the Chrome edition. I really love that figure. 22 Hot Rod. You notice some of these I've put the head sculpts in. So the Hot Rod, the 20 Python, the Mark 9. I've built those head sculpts for those. There's the Mark 24 Tank, 25 Striker, 26 Gamma, 27 Disco, 36 Peacemaker. You're at a what? Oh, okay, Lorenzo. We'll see you when you have an opportunity to, man. Yeah, I love that Mark 15 Retro, man. That really turned out beautiful, didn't it? Lorenzo, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, that Mark 15 turned out beautiful. And then, of course, there's ones we were just talking about, my Loki and Spider-Man Homecoming, Obadiah, Mark 23 Shades. You know, I decided to do with this. Man, I love my Infinity War cap also. You know, I decided to do with this Mark 23 Shades. I was trying to figure out what to do with him. I was wanting to get an additional Hall of Armor case for him. And I've also even thought about building my own Hall of Armor cases, which is still a possibility. But I have this Mark 1 diorama base that came with the Mark 1 2.0 that I own. I have the Mark 1 2.0. I didn't know what to do with that because I have my Mark 1 in a Hall of Armor. So I was thinking, you know, the shades here, he's in that digital camo, which is what military soldiers wear. And I was thinking, you know, this makes a good display because I call it the revenge display. So, of course, we've seen him take his Mark IV and go back to where the guys were. Maybe it was the Mark III. Go back to where the guys were and mech them up. Have I ruined Spidey's tech suit? You know, I don't know. I just posed him like that just a few days ago. You think that'll cause creases in it? I was wondering that myself. It feels like it's made of kind of a vinyl. Um, it's possible, but it's it gives. I mean, it gives a lot. The neon paint from Black Panther rub-off figure when it releases. Gee, that's a good question. I don't know. Mondo Batman? I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, I did the Mark 47 with his little open face there because I think that's cool. The only time we've ever had that before was with the Mark II, and I've got that displayed up here. In my Hall of Armor, I've got the Mark II with his open face as well. By the way, I love the Hall of Armor. If you guys haven't purchased the Hall of Armor yet, and you have the money to do so, I recommend it now that it's been re-released. I've really been pleased with my Hall of Armor. You can display it. There's many ways you can display it. You can display it with the holographic sheets. You don't have to put those on there. Yeah, he's hard to pose. You don't have to put those holographic. They come with the piece of plastic without the holographic on there. It's a sticker you have to put on there if you want it. I have seen it. Yeah. Jeez. So anyhow, you can display it with those, without them. You got the different light configurations. I mean, all sorts of things. You can display them as a single piece. I recommend it. The Chitaris. I'm getting the Chitaris because I have a feeling there's going to be a storyline in game. By the way, my Pepper Potts. Gwyneth Paltrow, love you. And there's Tony. Mark 41 original up there, and the War Machines again. Right there. So right over here, it's kind of like my Avengers shelf. So anybody that kind of was ever an Avenger is kind of over here. I don't believe I have a Thor over here yet, so I'm working on that. I've got Agent Coulson holding the Captain America shield. You know what this is? What are you doing with this? A Falcon over there with his bird. I don't remember the name of it. Red something or other. And there's the Civil War Ant-Man and Bucky and Hawkeye, and that's the Hulk. Sprout shock pose. Ant-Man, Giant Man scene. Oh yeah, I bet that's cool. And I put my original Thanos over there. My man Cap better say Avengers assemble an in-game leading to the charge. Oh man, I don't know how that's going to end. Truthfully, got my Lady Deaths over there. Those were a grail of mine at one time, and then I ended up stumbling across two of them. So I probably don't need two of them, but it's so difficult to get rid of figures. I'm probably going to hold on to those. I've got both Vampirellas. Love those as well. I agree. I would love a 1/4 scale Ant-Man / Giant Man. Hell, I would love a life size, like 6 foot tall Ant-Man, because essentially that would be like Ant-Man from Captain America Civil War, right? So there's my Deadpool shelf. Got some custom pieces on there. The Wade without the mask, and the Colossus over there. He's got the middle finger hanging from the handcuffs. We've got the Gentle Giant, Squirrel Pool, and Dog Pool, and Kid Pool, Lady Deadpool over there. Down here is my Doctor Strange. That would be cool. I don't care if I don't care who would do it. NECA or Spider-Man or Hot Toys. Shoot, that'd be fine either way. I seen the 1/4 scale Spidey. I sure did. So there's my Infinity War cap. I've not seen any of the life-size figures in person. I've seen Hot Toys always is displaying them at their shows. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, I really want to get the Spider-Man suits that I missed out on, from like the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man suits too. So I'll be buying those from third-party resellers one of these days, and that's going to cost me a penny, I'm sure. But there's my T'Chaka and my Infinity War, more or less. And over here I've got my Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty proud about how this Yondu turned out. And I've got my Star-Lord over there. Let me grab those guys. We'll talk about those guys for a minute, if you don't mind. Now Yondu, what I really wanted to do with him, and I bought 2 of them specifically for this reason. I loved Yondu. Really, they didn't do him right, man. I mean, they did. It was a good story and all that, but jeez, he really deserved to be in this latest release. So what I did was, because I bought 2 of them, because I wanted to display one with, that, I don't know what you called it, controller on his head, and then one with the other. Dust and blood. But I got, I put the ribbons like this all the way around him. So I feel that I combined from the 2 different sets. I didn't think I was in a Lady Death either, but man, she sure is a cool looking figure. No doubt about that. It was Fison, I think, that did Asika. She sure did. But I did this ribbon, and it goes all the way around, and that's a combination of both sets, by the way. And I'm really pleased at how that turned out. I think it shows a pretty good representation of how it could fly out and just kind of goes on its own thing there. I just plugged them all in, and it worked out well. I really like that. I think I did a good job with that. And on my Star-Lords, same thing. I bought 2 of them, and the reason I bought 2 of them is because I missed the first Star-Lord, and so I displayed them as such. Put Yondu back. Show you what I did here. Alright, so the baby Groot only hangs out on the long coat, by the way. He doesn't hang out on the coat. So we got baby Groot here, and I've got Yondu holding a little, Yondu. I have Star-Lord holding the cassette tape in his hand, a little Walkman on his belt, and he's just kind of chilling, right? So this Yondu, God man, this Star-Lord I've got decked out in his space jumpsuit with his blasters, and he's flying. So this pose stand here, I could have added this piece to it, but I'm running out of those pieces. So I decided to use the Groot base. And then I took a Hot Toys articulated pose stand and turned it upside down, because this comes from a King Arts figure base articulated posing stand. So it has the smaller thread. I've not got my Iron Spidey yet, and I don't know yet. So then I've since this is upside down, I was able to do that and give him an articulated flight stand for that. So that's what I did with my Star-Lords. And I don't think I talked about my Rey yet. I started to, but I didn't finish it. So on Rey, by the way, the only reason I got her was because in order to get the BB-8, original BB-8, you had to buy Rey. And I really love Rogue One. Oh my God. Rogue One was an amazing movie. And Jyn Erso, the characters and all of those, that whole movie was just amazing. If you haven't seen Rogue One, get out there and see it. Yeah, I pick them up every chance I get. I've got 3 or 4 left, so I'm running out. So anyhow, I was never pleased with how they did Rey. Even though, like I said, she's not a favorite character of mine. And I had started this before Denobi had built his, but I wasn't pleased with how it was turning out, so it got shelved. So I finally got it down. I've got the skin to match on her. It's a little more red than I was hoping to achieve. I dyed the skin a bit, and that's a Fison body that I have Ray in here. So now she's got her cute little knees showing off, which is, you know, Hot Toys blew that with the figure that they used for Ray. I don't have any idea why they decided to go with that ugly figure for her. So now she's got seamless, but the only thing really you can see is her knees, which is fine. So I did her thing a little higher than normal. The other thing that I was doing is I wasn't pleased with how they did the shoes. So I cut up the shoes. Let's get some light over here on this. I cut up the shoes and shaved off laces in the back. Come on, let's get this stupid thing to focus. And I then decided I was going to thread laces on there. So I started threading the laces on it and then glued the shoes tighter to her. So the boots look like they're supposed to, instead of the ugly flip-flop moccasins that they had her on in the first place. And then, so I actually threaded that lace through there with a needle. Oh boy, that was work. So now I'm very pleased with my Ray, and I love her, where before she had absolutely no love from me. I didn't care for her at all. And now I'm very pleased to have her in my collection. So get a focus on her. There we go. Hello, Ray. Welcome home. So there's Ray. And gosh dang it. I was supposed to be getting my Hot Toys Dusty, Deadpool Dusty, and Loki. Star Wars $6 million man. Yeah. There you go. The cool ones. Heck yeah. Okay. Reconnecting. Yeah. $6 million man. I remember the figure that had the little eye. You could look through the back of his head. Diamond Select, they've always made some great ones. At one point, I was trying to collect an entire scale of, I think a 1,000 scale is what I was trying to go with. I've got a 2,500 box over here that I'll open up one of these days. I have my Hulkbuster down here. I'm going to put up some more shelving. Yeah, let's go over that Mark IV. I'm going to add, I've got these shelves over here in the corner. I'm going to put them up there. 2 more rows of shelves so I can display more figures. And when I do that, I don't know where I'm going to put the Hulkbuster at. I don't know if he'll fit on this Avengers shelf or not. But I really want to pose him up against my Hulk that I have, a Hulk Deluxe. I also want to pose up Gladiator Thor with the Gladiator Hulk that I have also. Oh, that'd be cool. I didn't watch any of the reboot series. I was told it was really good, but I don't know. It was almost one of those things where I was like, why redo this? It was good the first time. Continue on the story was really my thought. So anyhow, I bought the Mark IV diecast with the Gantry. Got that in the other room. I should show you the other room while I was giving the tour. The Vipers and the Cylon Raiders. So here's my Avengers versus Ultron. Right there. Tony, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, AOU Cap, which I really like, AOU Black Widow, which I really like, and this is my only Thor I own. No, that's not true. I got a Gladiator Thor, finally. And right here I've got Mark II in the Gantry, because of course we know that's how he got in and out of the Mark II through 6s, was with the Gantry, except for the Mark V. There's a Mark III versus Ironmonger. Right there. Great looking figure. Not enough light in here. Try to, man. The hair just goes crazy. I guess it's the humidity that causes that. I don't know. Let's get the focus in here. I don't know why her hair goes psycho. Everyone tells me, oh, a little water, a little product. Yeah, baloney. I've not been able to get it to function properly. Here's my Mark IV in the Gantry. So the difference between the two Gantries, this is the original Gantry. You can flip over those pieces and have the white. The white is from the Stark Expo. So that's the Stark Expo Gantry. And that's the Garage Gantry. So this is the new Release Gantry. These pieces cannot be turned over. And they are literally just only the black. So that's the difference between the two Gantries. A little bit different weathering effect on them too, but other than that, it's the same cast. And here's my Mark VI on the King Arts 1/9 Gantry, which I think is actually a 1/6 Gantry, after I did a whole video talking about that. And down there is my War Machine Mark I, Mark VI versus Whiplash 2. So that's the rest of my collection. Put you guys back in here. I put the Gantry out and I forgot to get my Mark IV diecast out. And I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Oh, yeah, no. I remember what I'm doing with him. So, one of the Mark IVs will go into a display from Iron Man 2. I've been working on, had a mind on it for quite a while. But I just want to say that this Mark IV diecast is, from what I've seen, identical to, plug the phone in, otherwise it's going to go dead on me, Mark VI diecast. So it's funny that people show the Mark VI a lot of love. Collectors really like the Mark VI, but for some reason they don't show the Mark IV as much love. I don't understand that. I do have, I've got Sideshow and Big Bad Toy Store mailing to me the Loki and the Deadpool Dusty. I've got Killmonger on the way. I've got this other one they said was coming. I've got a whole list of them that are coming, man. I've got like 15 figures on pre-order, maybe 20 figures on pre-order for this next year or so. But I don't understand why people don't show the Mark IV as much love as they do the Mark VI. This literally is the exact same figure as the Mark VI diecast. 100%. Except for the chest piece. That's it. That's the only difference. It is the Mark VI. You're looking at the Mark VI. Love collecting the Mark VI, and they don't seem to have any love for the Mark IV. I don't understand that. Get my Obadiah to stand up over here so I can move the camera back a little more. How's that, guy? The Mark IV was in the second movie. So the first movie was the Mark 1, 2, and 3. The second movie was the Mark 4, 5, and 6. The movie after that was the Avengers, which started off with the Mark 6. I'm pointing at the Mark 4, talking about the Mark 6. Started off with the Mark 6 and then ended off with the Mark 7. And then the next movie was Iron Man 3, which was the Mark 7 through 42. And then we had Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron, which was the Mark 43 and Hulkbuster, and then the Mark 45. And then we had Captain America Civil War, which was the Mark 46. And Spider-Man Homecoming was the Mark 47. And Infinity Wars was the Mark 50. So the 48 and 49 weren't mentioned. And we had the Iron Spider in Infinity Wars, and we had the Hulkbuster 2 in Infinity Wars. But there was no mention of what the 48 and 49 were. So that's the look on them. Yeah, the 3 and 4, actually, they don't look the same. They're upside down. They're different. Let me get my 3 down here. My 3 is in the other room. Let me get this 3 over here. I can show you with these two guys. So it's not the red and gold guys. I'll show you. The Gunmetal and the Secret Project. So the Mark III is called the Gunmetal, and the Mark IV is the Secret Project. And you'll notice as you look at them, they're really two totally different suits. So the abdomen is different, the knees and legs totally different, the calves, the shins, the feet, the hands are similar, but the wrist gauntlets as well, totally different on them. The biceps, you got angular versus rounded, and same thing with the shoulders. The helmets are close, real close in that regards, but other than that, not even close in the design of the two suits. I mean, totally different. I mean, the chest. I mean, I don't see very many similarities at all. Even the panties. I mean, everything. Everything is totally, totally different on them. The backs of the suits. Maybe some similarities, but here is rounded, and here is very angular and squared off. So I don't think that they are similar, but the 4 and 6 are identical. Like I said, literally the only difference between the 4 and 6 is that chest piece. That's it. That is literally it. Color scheme, maybe a little. The 6 has some silver in it that the 4 doesn't. The 4 is more red and gold. The 6 is red and gold with some silver splashes in it here and there. But so here's my Mark 6 die cast right here. And here's my Mark 4 that I hadn't taken out of the box yet. And like I said, the only difference is they painted silver areas on it, and they changed out the chest piece. Other than that, those are identical pieces, 100%, totally identical. So let's see. Anyhow, this Mark IV die comes with all the pieces that the Mark 6 die cast came with as well. But you also get the donut, the coffee cup, the box of donuts, and the red and black sunglasses, which are pretty cool. This was all the gantry in here. This was all the gantry. But here's all the arm pieces and the shoulder pieces. These glasses, you got the red and black one with the red and gold Mark IV. He was wearing these when he was at Randy's Donuts. And when you bought the Secret Project, you got gray and black ones, which are really cool. But they're little checkered glasses, red and black checks. And so the Secret Project one is gray and black checks. And this was released in both the original Mark IV and on this diecast re-release. Okay, which Iron Man suit did Tony piss in? That would be the Mark IV. That is the Mark IV that he did that in. I imagine all of them, though. I imagine all of them have a little Tony inside of them. Kind of like a pilot. Military pilot. So I'd forgotten all about this guy. I was going through all my stuff. And I was like, oh man, I need to go get this Mark IV out. But I have a display plan with him. And I'm not sure. I'm probably going to, don't remember, see, it's so difficult to try to figure out who I want to put where on my Mark IVs. Because I have Mark IV. And then I have the Mark IV diecast. And then I have the Mark IV Shanghai release. I have 3 Mark IVs plus my Mark IV gunmetal, or I mean Secret Project, and then I have 5 Mark VIs, which include the diecast. So anyhow, if you want to, we can unbox something here. I've got Guardians of the Galaxy rocket to open up. I've got the Yondu. I have not opened him up all the way yet. I've got this rocket. I really kind of want to get to this rocket. And then I've got the original Guardians of the Galaxy Rocket and Groot. You know what? Let's get him out of the box. I'm really tired of Teen Groot, man. I love Baby Groot. I love Big Groot. Teen Groot is really getting on my last nerve, man. I gotta say, I'm really tired of Teen Groot. No, you cannot switch to chests on the Mark IV and the Mark VI. They are not. They're not swappable. Pepper Potts wore the Mark 42 in Iron Man 3. And yeah, I'm getting all the War Machines. You better believe it. I sure am, Rick. Most definitely. But no, the Mark IV and the Mark VI chests are not interchangeable. I've done that on a couple of my unboxings. If you look at some of my older videos where I do the Mark IVs and Mark VIs, I compare the two of them. And you'll see that no, none of them are interchangeable. As a matter of fact, not only are the Mark IV and the Mark VI not interchangeable, the Mark IVs are not interchangeable. So you can't take the Shanghai chest and put it onto the regular Mark IV. So it's actually a recasting. Exit the donut. Sir, I'm going to have to exit the donut. I like how when Natasha shows up and she's in her, agent outfit, her shield outfit, and she looks over, Tony looks over at her and he says, "You're fired?" Who's richer, Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne? Good question. Who is richer, Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne? You know, I'm going to say Tony Stark. And the reason I'm going to say that, government contracts. It seems that Bruce kind of has the government contracts, but not like Tony does. Tony's got he's got it locked down, man. He sells everything to the government. Remember, like in which one was it? Must have been Iron Man 2, or I mean Iron Man 1, when he caused that F-22 to blow up more or less, and Rhodey says, you owe me a new fighter jet, and he's like, yeah, I got that. You know, come on, what are those things, like $22 million or something like that a piece? Black Panther, hey, there you go, Rick, straight out of the left field. Black Panther is definitely the richest. Yeah, no doubt about that. Boy, you hit the nail on the head there. The Bruce has the Justice League satellite, I think. Bruce has got some money. I don't think though that Bruce is as rich as Black Panther or Tony Stark. I think Black Panther pretty much knocks it right out of the ballpark. I mean, what do they say that? Well, I guess it's not the case anymore. They have vibranium as the single most expensive, valuable product on the planet, and now it's kind of been divulged to the world that there's a larger supply than what it was. So I don't know if it's still going to be considered as valuable. They just kind of flooded the market with it, did they? But yeah, Black Panther definitely would have to be the richest. See, who do we got here? Who's the artists? Head painted by Lock Ho on Rocket. Viva Lai is the one who sculpted Rocket. And Groot is done by Lock Ho. And of course, JC Hong ultimately in charge of all that. So this is from the first movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, with older Groot. Yeah, January is normally like the slow month. They kill us at Christmas time, releasing figures left and frickin' right. And then we end up going for like 2 months of nothing. So I'm glad I've got the figures coming that I've got coming, because it's going to be a little sink or swim. Wow, I didn't realize Groot was so tall. Holy cow. Look at this guy. My goodness. Holy cow. I didn't know Black Panther from the comics that much. I was a Spider-Man comic guy. Well, of course, you know, Superman and Batman when I was a little guy. That's who I was introduced to first. But then Spider-Man as I matured. And so the only time I knew anything about the other characters was whenever they did a crossover. So for the most part, I bought all the Spider-Man comics. Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Spider-Man, and Spectacular Spider-Man. And I have a lot of those comics. I probably need to send them off and get them graded. I have a lot of comics. Holy cow. I didn't know that Groot was so big. I think I'm blown away. What do we got here? 15 3/4 inches tall. I am Groot. We are Groot. I and Am and Groot, and that is it. I love all the little bitty plants, twigs he's got coming off him everywhere. I'm digging this. I'm kind of blown away. I didn't realize he was as big. I don't know, for some reason I just thought he was much smaller. I don't know what to say. I'm really caught off guard. The ugliness of... Yeah, I think Endgame's coming out in April. The ugliness of what? Politics? Alright, so just kind of looking at this, not real impressed with that. That kind of looks very quickly just thrown together. I'm glad to have it, but I don't know. I thought they could have done a better job with that. Then again, we are talking about a figure that's what, 4 years old? 3 years old? It's amazing watching these figures progress and the artists improve their work, and they're getting better and better and better as time goes by. First time taking a rocket out also. The other rocket I have, he's still in his box. So I'm kind of impressed with that too. I like this. I didn't realize there was such a huge size difference in them. It's quite impressive. I love his little whiskers. What was it that Thor called him? Rabbit? And I think Drax called him a puppy. That's so funny. Nebula, oh my god, I so want Nebula. I'm pretty sure Groot is bigger than Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's like human size. You know, I passed on Ant-Man on the Bullet specifically because it wasn't to scale. And it's funny to say on Ant-Man because Ant-Man is multi-scale, but for fact, that bullet was not to scale, so I just passed on that. A Groot Chia Pet full figure. Yeah, no doubt. That'd be cool. I'm really impressed with the size of this guy. Comes with 3 other hands. Is this like, I don't know what this is. Why is this translucent? Any ideas? But this is a left and right grasping hand. They're identical, just left and right. I don't know what the purpose of this translucent hand is. Was that when he was like turning into We Are Groot? Is that what that's supposed to represent? I am getting the new Ant-Man from Ant-Man Wasp, and I'm getting Wasp. Lewis from Ant-Man, that's the guy that tells all his giant long ass stories. Oh my god, I laugh every time he tells one of his stories. I was down to Mark Gallery and it has a really good wine. It was really good red. You know, I really like the red, blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, what an insane dude he is. Could you imagine if you had a friend like that in real life? He'd be like a party, just him showing up anywhere. Hey, you're Hank Pym. You know we robbed you, right? What the hell? That dude ain't right. Oh, look at that. We get a nice angry Groot. That's cool. Look at that mouth and those eyes. That's cool. I'm digging that. I don't know, what really could you have done with that mouth other than that? That's about as good as you can get in regards to having an open mouth. I think they did a pretty good job, the art department did, in creation of that. Rocket and his guns. I tell you, man, I've got so many guns from all these different figures. It's insane. This is a cool looking gun here. He always goes with these huge guns that are the size that he is. I find that so comical. I got the Teen Groot, I sure did. They have made a 1/6 Happy Hogan. I thought about getting it. I have not. I don't know if it's too late to order it, but I need a Happy. I mean, I really need a Happy Hogan. And there's so many different changes he went through. He had his little Tony Stark, I don't know what you call it, goatee, his little mustache goatee. He had really overweight Happy and thinner Happy, and I mean, how do you say his name? Jon Favreau, is that how you say it? I'm pretty sure he directed the first two movies. I think he directed the first one and produced the second one. I don't remember. But he was responsible, for my understanding, for Tony Stark's mansion. Could you imagine living in Tony Stark's mansion? Is that the trigger there? Are there two triggers? Because obviously that's a trigger. That looks like a trigger there too, though. No telling. Nothing seems to move on this. Cool looking firearm there. I think I've seen a Judge Dredd motorcycle too, wasn't there? Is there somebody custom made it or something? Let me grab my little Teen Groot. I've got him over here with our Guardians of the Galaxy shelf. And because I'm using my Groot stand on Star-Lord. Wow. Everything's just falling everywhere, man. Like a little earthquake going on over here. I'm using my Star-Lord base for Teen Groot. So let's do a size comparison. Uh-oh. I lost his little video game. I had his video game in his hand. Here on the floor someplace. I'll have to find that. That's a big difference. I think that's probably why I was so shocked with the size of the original Groot, because Teen Groot is the size of, of Black Widow, really, is his size. He's not as big as the male characters, but he's as big as the female characters. So I guess I didn't expect Groot to be so much bigger. I don't know, I'm really caught off guard. Really caught off guard. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not it really is supposed to be the same, identical same person, or if it's supposed to be a child of his, Or how does that work? Does anybody know for a fact? It's father son. Okay, that's what I was wondering. I kind of got that impression, but I wasn't really sure. So Groot died, and then that was his son that was created. That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense to me. Because I hadn't put much thought into it. My Vampirella's bit the dust here. I don't have them affixed. I had them just standing on their own. So they were very precariously balanced as it was. Surely did not need to throw them on the ground, though. See if I can find my little video game. There it is. Underneath my Camaro. I need a 5,000 square foot home, it seems. So I can have multiple rooms just for displaying figures, right? My wife and I share this room. Her room, my room. I get half of it, she gets the other half. Alright, where's his little video game? Here we go. Let's get his little video game back in his hand. Keep him happy and occupied. Can't seem to get rid of his video game, can he? That way it'll rot your brain. James Gunn said it was his son. Man, I tell you what. I hate the way they did James Gunn, man. WTF. So none of that was news. All that was well known when he was hired, when he did the first two movies, and then they decided to be stupid. So that's my opinion on that. I'm not condoning nor condemning. I'm just stating a simple fact of it was not news, and I think it was a stupid decision to make when they already knew that this was the case. So I don't know what the hell all that was about. Teen Groot disappeared. He had looked at Rocket and said, "Dad, really?" That's cool. I did not know that. Thank you very much for that verification of who he was. You know what I'm looking forward to, though, which they haven't announced yet? 2 years ago, they did a sneak peek of the Mark 28 Jack. And I think that was attached to the Mark 40 shotgun, if I remember correctly. So as they were showing the figure in the background, they had the Jack. Politics just destroying everything. I know, right? Jeez. It's insane. You know, we've always had the left and the right. There's always been politics. There's always been one party and then the other party. We've always had our own differences of opinions. And that's always been the greatest thing about living in this country or being a native-born American, is that even though we have our differences, we still have our similarities. And even though you and I are not going to agree on everything every single time, it doesn't matter. We still have a common interest and a common goal. You know what I mean? We still want a safe environment for our families. And I don't know why people have gone absolutely stupid in this country lately. I mean, there's always been irrationality on one side or the other, but come on, guys, just end all this. This is really stupid. We have a Bill of Rights. The first one is guarantees us freedom of speech, which means I'm allowed to say whatever I want. Now, if you find it offensive, so be it. The First Amendment doesn't say you can't say whatever you want if it's not offensive. But anything that I say that is offensive, obviously I've got to be held responsible for it, but I shouldn't be allowed not to say it. And I think that's what we've done, is we've forgotten what our Bill of Rights are. And that's insane. I'm going to stop talking about politics. I don't want to turn this into a that discussion. I want to just keep this with toys, but I think we need to stop all this baloney. This is ridiculous. It's insane. I'm losing friends over it. It's stupid. So, where was I? I don't even know what I was even talking about now. Help me out, guys. Where are we? I guess we're going through the rest of this Groot, right? Rocket and Groot. Been sitting in a box for a long time and wanting to get them out. Rocket comes with a bunch of little hands. There's 6 hands. You guys see these? Oh no, I'm sorry. We have 4 hands. No, I was correct the first time. We have 6 hands and we have 4 feet. So he's got these tiptoes feet. Also, the little hand just go to. It is 6 little hands, 4 little feet. Because I've seen the pictures of him hanging out on top of Groot up here. So I don't know if that's how I'm going to pose him. Possibly. I didn't realize he was so tall. I wonder if he'll fit. I was planning on putting him on that shelf over there, this white shelf. I don't know if he'll fit on it. Oh yeah, there we go, plenty of room. Yeah, that's fine. Whew. Man, oh man, oh man. I knew he was tall, but I didn't realize he was. I'm still caught off guard by that. Yeah, the Emperor would love the status of our things right now. Hot Toys says a lot of figures coming in 2021. With all the X-Men, we are going to be broke. Do you think that the X-Men are going to be merged into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? That'd be cool. Mythos Ben Kenobi. I go back and forth on Star Wars. The thing is I can barely keep up with all the Marvel stuff. And I don't hate on Star Wars. I love my astromechs that I've got here. Let's shed some light on this. I've got an astromech collection that I 100% dig and can't wait for the Hot Toys Ultimate R2-D2. I've got all of the 1/6 Hot Toys and Sideshow astromechs that have been made. I've debated getting the Bounty Hunters, but it's so hard. So Kevin Feige said that the X-Men are joining the MCU. Wow. You know, I would like to see Deadpool in Endgame. Could you imagine that? That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Let's see what else we got here with Rocket and Groot. We have the valuable figure stands. With the valuable clear plastic rods. Oh, this is interesting. A little short clear plastic rod. What? That doesn't even fit in there. Oh, man, this is great. Little bitty lobster claw for Rocket. This is, that's, sheesh. What is this? What is this? Is this? Okay. I'm figuring it out now. So what you got is, all right. So this little bitty one will either fit in this custom made little guy here, and these are the ones that I was talking about for flight poses, these guys. So anyhow, this little bitty one here will work if you want to put Rocket on his own little thing here with this little bitty lobster claw. Or what you can do is you can take this clear plastic post, which I love the clear plastic posts. I love the clear plastic posts. And you can put this in Rocket or in Groot. Then with this little adapter, you can put Rocket. Now, I'm probably not going to do this with these, but I tell you what, man, I've got a couple other things I've been wanting to do this with, and this would be perfect. I tell you who I have in mind for this with, my Falcon over here. I've got right now for my Falcon, what's his name? Can't remember the name of his little remote drone that he uses. But anyhow, I took a 7-sided pose stand and drilled a hole in it to support the Red Hawk guy. What is his name? Red Wing. Thank you. To put the Red Wing on it, but it just doesn't look right. You know what I mean? It's not right. And I didn't like the way that they originally had done that, because I wanted to put him up into a flight pose, because he really deserves to be up in a really nice tall flight pose. So I drilled a hole there and stuck that there. So, but obviously that ain't working. But now with this, that's going to work. So I'm going to attach this up here to that, and then I'll have that I can put up there. Perfect. And that's kind of how I do things. They, give me a great idea in regards to how they think is going to work, and I look at that and I'm like, that's cool, but it would be better in this manner. For instance, my Scarlet Witch over there, who I have in a flight pose, which she didn't come with any flight pose stuff really, but she deserves to be in a flight pose as such. And that's how the hobby goes, right? Who's bigger, Yoda or Rocket? Interesting thought. I'm going to say Rocket is probably bigger than Yoda. Well, how big is Yoda compared to a astromech? Let's get an astromech over here. You guys know how big Yoda is compared to an astromech? I don't have a Yoda figure, but I do have astromechs. Let's put Rocket next to R2 and see how he sizes up. Make some room here. Oh, I'm thinking Yoda's bigger. Yeah, Falcon is another one of those Tic Tac on his shoulder, right? Yes, Vulture. Falcon is another one of those figures that I really wasn't planning on collecting other than just one. So only it's like, let's just get one figure. And so I thought all the representations of Falcon, that the Civil War Falcon was a great representation of him, because he has that red and white. Falcon also in the comics donned the Captain America outfit. So it'd be interesting to see if he continues on that mantle. Yeah, Vulture would be huge. I hope that they give us Vulture. They gave us the Vulture head sculpt, which is normally not a good sign. So anyhow, here is Rocket next to R2. What do you think, guys? Is Yoda or Rocket taller? Like I said, I don't have a Yoda, so I couldn't tell you specifically which one is. But there you go. What else have I got going on? I guess that's it. You guys got anything else for me before I let you all go? I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I've got a Spider-Man homemade suit that I need to do an unboxing on. And I was going to do the comparison with the Homecoming suit. Man, I should have bought 3 of those doggone Spider-Man Homecomings. Sheesh. Man, oh man, oh man. Hindsight. Robert, I am with you on Captain Marvel. I was initially 100% stoked about Captain Marvel, especially because Kevin Feige revealed to us that Brie Larson was in Marvel Avengers. He told us that Captain Marvel was in Marvel Avengers, the very first Avengers movie, and she was the waitress. There's a scene of her running out of the restaurant, and there's a scene of her being interviewed on the news. So, of course, I've been stoked about Captain Marvel since then. But I am getting Infinity War Thanos. But when you bought 3 Spider-Mans, Robert, you're a good thinker, man. Good thinker. I bought 2 of the Mark 7 diecasts. I ordered 2 of those. When I seen who was writing and directing Captain Marvel, I'm a little nervous, I have to say. And I hate to say that. I really wish I wasn't nervous. The MCU has been so reliable. It's been such a great ride these last 10 years. Every movie has been off the charts, in my opinion. There have been people who have hated Thor Dark World. There have been people who have hated Iron Man 3. There have been people who have hated Thor Ragnarok. But I love Thor Ragnarok. I watched that movie several times. I really enjoy... tell me again, brother, what are you the god of? Oh, man, when he just turns into total ass-kicking mode. But I'm really nervous about Captain Marvel. Hey, I just got an email from Sideshow, I think it was yesterday, saying that I was going to be getting billed for it soon. So, like I said, man, I am the last person on Sideshow's. I'm the last person on Sideshow's list that gets anything mailed to him. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Yeah, so like I said, there's people who have the movies that they are just not fans of. As you were mentioning, Rick, Dark World, Thor. A lot of people hate on Iron Man 3 and Thor Ragnarok seem to be the 3 biggest ones that of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that people don't care for. Now there's been the 2 Hulk movies. The first Ang Lee Hulk movie, I don't think they consider it really part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that's an outside. I think the one, however, with Edward Norton is a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, and that also was not really a big fan, a favorite of a lot of people. The very first Hulk, but I'm really nervous about Captain Marvel. Really? The Dark World Thor is the best Thor. Interesting. It's so funny. I say this many times. I go from saying, oh, I'm just going to buy one figure to represent it. Like Black Widow. Age of Ultron, in my opinion, was probably, at the time, my favorite Black Widow character. And I was like, I don't need any other Black Widows beside this because this is the best one. Captain America, same thing. Age of Ultron, Captain America. I really enjoy that. But now it gets to the point where I need all of those. I need them all. Yeah, every one of them. It's like the Falcons. I need to get the original Falcon. I need to catch up on the Black Widows. I need to get all the Captain Americas, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And as you can see, I'm really short on space as it is. I've got my empty shelves are very slim. I've got one kind of empty shelf over here with that I have Hela on right now. I don't know if it's going to be my Thor shelf or not. I've got an empty shelf there that could be anything. I've got down here. I've got my Mandarin and my Scooby-Doo Daphne down there. So I really don't have that much space, and these guys they're crunched in there tight. So over here, this shelf just isn't tall enough, and I can't bring myself to spend. I can't bring myself to spend $100 on a Detolf or Detolf, however you say it. Even though they'd be great for me, it's almost like, oh man, that's $100 I could spend on a Hot Toys figure. You know what I mean? It's so. It's such a what a hobby we're in, right? What a hobby. Sheesh. They get you coming and going. Cap Marvel has sculpted hair. Hope Avengers Widow is the same. Is it sculpted hair? I didn't remember seeing the head on Captain Marvel. When was that released, Rick? That'd be my one Thor to buy. Dark World? And not into Thor, but I like the Dark World Thor. Maybe it's the poncho. Rick, I seen the Hot Toys preview of Captain Marvel, but I don't remember seeing the head. But you're saying it's sculpted hair? Let's see how much room do I have on this shelf. I think of like 13 inches. What is this shelf height? Yeah, 13 inches dead on. And when you put a posing stand underneath these figures, I mean, that's it. I can only use the little flat posing stands. I can't use the taller ones. Or like on this Mark V diecast, he's right on it. Look at that. He's right there, the top of the shelf. The only thing I can do is stretch his legs out more. I love this Mark V diecast. Love it. By the way. I will. I'll have to look at the teaser to see that. I mean, I'm pleased with what the trailer has shown in regards to how they're planning on doing Captain Marvel. I have no problem with Captain Marvel. I have no problem with the character playing Captain Marvel. I have no problem with the storyline. I'm not a woman hater. I'm not one of these people who don't think that women should have their own movies. But I'm really scared because when you look at the movies that these writers or the people that were put in charge of Captain Marvel had made before, I'm afraid this is going to be another Ang Lee Hulk disaster. Because I don't think it's going to be as action-packed a movie as I want it to be. That's what scares me. Wasn't there a Black Cap Marvel in the comics? I think there was several Captain Marvels in the comics, weren't there? Yeah, I have a feeling that the Captain Marvel suit is going to be one of those, I don't know. With the new Spider-Man suit, he seems to pose pretty well. But yeah, a lot of times, whenever you end up with a suit, like Daredevil has back there. Where's Daredevil at? He's back in there someplace. He's hiding. There he is. See his little head back there. But in these suits, they are a little difficult to pose. You get the binding in the shoulders that keep you from being able to move them around. And I have a feeling we're probably going to get that. Probably going to get that. But man, I'm hoping that Captain Marvel is a hit. So, all right, guys. I think I've kept you all long enough. I really appreciate the time with you guys spend with me. I really enjoy it. And hopefully my Dusty Deadpool and my Thor will be, or not my Thor, my Loki will be here next week. They've been promising that for a couple of weeks. So we'll be able to open those up. I would love a custom Hot Toys of me. But actually, I don't want a custom Hot Toys of me as I am. I want a custom Hot Toys of me in my mind. So start off with Adonis. You know what I mean? Give me a Thor, for instance, and then put my head on that. That would be that would be my Hot Toys of me. There was a company that was making those where you could get a head sculpt made of yourself. I don't know if they still do it or not. I don't remember where I've seen that. Jeez. So, I guess I'm going to let you guys go, man. I will see you all next week. Maybe I can get around to doing some of the things I keep saying I'm going to do. It never seems to end. I'm definitely going to be posting those figures for sale. If you guys want any of those, you know, give me a shout out, shoot me an email or something. SiriEp@gmail. All the links are in the bottom. I mean, you can contact me all you want there. Custom Hot Toys are expensive. A custom Hot Toys made by a reputable customizer, you're looking at close to $1,000. Definitely, Rick. See you next week. Yeah, I love every one of you guys. I really appreciate every one of you. I really do. Thanks for sticking out with me. It's fun. And like I said, you guys are in charge of the show. I wish I'd had more stuff to go over this week. I really didn't go over as much as I probably should have. I got that Nier Automata. I didn't really touch on that. I kind of just breezed by it. But I put that together this week too. That's a Fison figure on a very cool clothing. I put her on the, that's a diorama from the Chitauri. Yeah, for a custom Hot Toys, man, you're looking at $1,000. Easily $1,000. And a lot of times when they get custom, you can't do anything. They become more of a statue than a figure at that point. You know what I mean? You end up losing a lot of the posability in them. So, all right, guys. Again, thanks for sticking with me. And I will see you all next week, man. Happy collecting.